We're about to take a trip down the esophagus of a jackass. Episode 2, Season 1, Doom Patrol. Stick around. What's up, Universe, and welcome back to the web's first must-see comic and nerd culture show. Welcome to Comic Universe, guys. I'm one of your hosts, as always, C-Dubs. And as you can see, I'm running solo on this video. Guys, off the bat, I gotta thank you guys. I gotta take a moment just to say thanks so much from the bottom of my heart and the rest of the team here. You guys helped us reach our first milestone, our first goal of 1K, guys, in under a year. And guys, thank you so much. Without you guys, we couldn't have done it. I know I haven't been around in the forefront, dealing with some issues with my wife, some medical issues, and some health issues with myself. I'm really sick right now. Not sure if it's the flu, strep throat. It's probably not strep throat because I can still talk, but it's terrible. I feel like absolute arse. But, so if I cough or sneeze or anything like that, guys, I do apologize. But again, thank you so much for helping us reach that goal. You guys are the best friends, family, and fans we could ask for. Thank you so much. A big freaking nerd power blast out to you guys. Thank you. Alright, guys, so as always, I'm going to break down this review. I'm going to give you the good, the bad, and the badass. And guys, I'm sure you guys could tell already, when I'm really into something, it's hard for me to be biased. And I usually am upfront about that. You can see that I'm really giddy. You can tell that I just really enjoy it. And this is going to be one of those moments, because I don't have a lot of bad or negative things to say about this show. And I know DC has made it super easy for us to just throw shade, especially at their cinematography, and their whole DC universe in terms of the movies and the shows on CW, and it's so easy. We didn't need another app. We didn't need them to take Young Justice away from Netflix. We didn't need Titans to be that edgy and raunchy, okay, and that hard edge, if you will. But this show is amazing. This show is so great. This show is exactly what DC, I think, should mold itself to be in terms of their movie franchises. Now, Aquaman was great, did a lot of money, so, that's fine and dandy. But if every movie that comes out is bright and colorful and funny like that, they're going to start getting you guys are just copying, Marvel. You guys are just doing Marvel does. And they're damned if they do, damned if they don't. If they stick down their guns the way they've been going, why don't you just do what Marvel does? Why don't you just do what Marvel does? So they're kind of screwed. So this, I think, is a medium ground where they could be hard R, raunchy if they want to be, dark and gritty, but yet funny and have this vibe of family. And Doom Patrol is that shining beacon. I'm telling you guys, check it out. It's worth the app price alone. That and Young Justice and the comic books, especially some of the old ones that maybe you've never read before, and all the animated movies, that makes it worth it. It's cheap enough to where it's worth it, trust me, guys. And so this episode, we're introduced to Cyborg. We also find out what actually happened to the town now that there's a black hole stuck in the middle of it. And real quick, I just want to give a quick shout out to Jay for taking care of the first episode. Thank you. So back onto this video. So we open up. Black hole sucks everything in. It's sucking in almost everybody, everything. All the buildings, all the people. Nobody gets away. Everyone's sucked into this actual black hole, including the bus that the chief is on, Mr. Nobody. And the rest of the team is just about to get sucked in as well until Robot Man shoves his fist in the ground and kind of anchors himself there for the time being. As the bus is flying in, Crazy Jane just goes ballistic and jumps into the black hole with him, closing the black hole. During all of this commotion, we are introduced to this little cockroach that I put a big shout out to. Anyone in the universe can tell me what's up with this cockroach. I'm curious, is this their version of Mr. Mind instead of just the little inchworm that could, if you will? We're dealing with a roach. I think he would be the perfect character for a crazy wonky show like this. No, I understand he's more of a Shazam villain, but let's face it, we'll probably never get him in the big screen. But this could be a perfect place for him to mesh well with these villains or these heroes and just be awesome. And I think this could be a really cool way for him to kind of get in there and do his thing and the rest of the world to be introduced to this character. So give me a shout out, guys. If you know what's up with this roach, do you guys know what character he is? What's he doing? What's his motive? Because he wasn't just this fly-by-night moment. He got an actual memorial once we were into, sucked into the black hole, we see the universe that we're in the black hole with. So, I don't know, just piqued my interest, and I'm very curious. So let me know, guys. So after everything's said and done, Robot Man just refuses to let it go. He needs to help Crazy Jane. He needs to help the Chief, even though the Chief has lied to him. He needs to save this town. And the rest of the Doom Patrol, Negative Man, Elastigirl, or I should say Elasti-Woman in this case, basically, like, they're out. She goes back to, Doom Manor. Negative Man's like, I'm out. I got to get out of this town. And he just basically tries to get on a bus and leave. But the entity inside of him won't let him leave. He tries to book like 50 different tickets to 50 different places. And every time he's about to jump on board the bus, he just leaves his body and leaves him there as a crippled mess. Absolutely hysterical. Was one of those kind of Peter Griffin moments where it did drag on just a little too much, if you ask me. But it was pretty funny, especially in the beginning. This whole time, Robot Man is basically running around the town chasing this donkey that we're introduced in the first episode, and it's kind of been walking around this town. And to be honest, I have been thinking that this donkey could actually be Animal, Vegetable, Mineral Man, but turns out I'm pretty sure he's not. Well, he's not, trust me. I'm not going to give too many spoilers in this episode, but he's not, trust me. But that's my next villain I want to see in this show, to be honest with you. So, finally we're introduced to Cyborg, and we see he's really upbeat. He's enjoying being a hero. He's been doing this for about 5 years. He's kind of growing in ranks in terms of heroes, and he's being recognized as a major hero. People are loving him. He has aspirations to joining the Justice League. And to be honest, this is the Cyborg we all want. I'm not 100% sold on all the prosthetics that they've given him. And I'm not even 100% sold on the actor completely. In the cheesy part, because Cyborg, in some incarnations of Cyborg, he's really cheesy. Mostly, the Teen Titans Go and Teen Titans Animated, he has a little cheese in him, and he's bringing that out, and I don't know if it's being as well received, I want to say I like about 90% of this character, and there's maybe about a 10% that I'm not, or actually 5% I'm not sure with, and then 5% I'm just like, I don't like. So, the prosthetics, the eyepiece in one hand looks great, but the hand where you can still see human fingers just looks like he's wearing a glove with a metal thing on the back end of it, and it looks kind of cheesy, and I wish they would just get rid of that one, or buy something better that looks better, but this show is dealing with a bad budget, and that's probably the worst part about this show, is it doesn't have the budget that it needs and or wants. But the good acting. Brendan Fraser steals every scene he's in. The way he's able to convey emotion, with a big shout out to the guys who created Robot Man's face, if you will, the special effects team, because it shows no emotion itself. The way he's able to convey emotion is absolutely great. He is determined to save the Chief and Crazy Jane, okay? And you see the torment from how he treated and how the loss of his wife and daughter have affected him, and how he's trying to be a better man. He's trying to live up to that promise that he made his wife. And it's just so great. And Crazy Jane, though she may not be doing as good of a job as McAvoy in the Split universe, all the different personalities, but she's doing a pretty good job. We get to see all the different, characters that she has that are stuck inside of her with some of the different powers as well. And we get to see how dangerous, some of them really, really are. And there's some really cool power effects, things that I've never even noticed. I'm not the most well-versed in Doom Patrol in terms of the comics. This show is actually getting me more into the comics. So I gotta say that, some of these powers that I'm seeing coming from Crazy Jane, I'm just like, man, I can't wait to get more into the comic books, get to know more about this character, because they are just off the wall. I'm talking like, she says a couple of words and they kind of manifest in reality and turn into weapons, and it's just absolutely awesome stuff, guys, and you gotta see it to believe it. We find out that inside this donkey, okay, is a portal to another world, essentially. And this is where everything has ended up. And they basically talk Elastigirl into funneling herself into the donkey's mouth to actually find where the chief is at the time and see if they could save him. And somehow they all get sucked into it, minus Crazy Jane, who was spat out of early in the episode from the donkey's mouth. That's how they figure out there's a portal in there, if you will, and Robot Man. They still stay, and they're trying to work on their relationship, if you will. And you can see the two of them just playing off really well. Personally, they give me this like Jubilee Wolverine vibe. Like, if we ever get those two characters on screen at the same time, I can't wait to see that, to be honest with you guys. So yeah, they end up in this world. They find out that basically Mr. Nobody's just playing and toying with them, and he's just torturing the hell out of them, diving into their deepest, darkest fears and some of their actual... Initially, he tries to present them with everything they've ever wanted, and then he twists it and turns it into their deepest, darkest fears, and he's just playing and toying with them until Negative Man, the entity inside of him, just bursts out and starts blowing shit up, and then Mr. Nobody's like, okay, fine, and he releases everybody out into the open. But while we're dealing with Cyborg and we start to learn some of his past, we start to realize that how actually this character could turn out to be absolutely fantastic. And the Cyborg not only that we want, deserve, but one we need as well. And we also learn in this episode that his father seems to be, no matter what universe Cyborg comes from, his father's always destined to be a hard-nosed asshole. Not that he doesn't love his son, but he is sometimes, isn't he just a jerk to Vic? You know, sometimes for no reason. I know we all want what's best for our kids, but when your kid is basically Cyborg, who could basically dog, about 80% of the superhero community, how much more do you want from your kid? Like, come on, we have to put some, we have to be reasonable here. But guys, you gotta check this episode out. It was amazing, guys. I'm telling you, look at my freaking face. That's how much fun I had with it. It speaks to people who are not very familiar with it. Hardcore comic guys like myself, and Jay, we love it. My wife, who's no idea who they were, when I was like, you ready for episode 2? She's like, episode 2? What's Doom Patrol? Even though she watched the first one, I was like, oh, the guy with the robot face, Brandon Fraser. She's like, oh, hell yeah, put it on now. Okay, and we actually stopped, our Umbrella Academy, which has been fantastic as well, and we're going to get you a review on that once I'm completely caught up. I think I have about 2 more episodes. But she's like, no, let's put a break. I want to go back to that show. So that's what I'm saying. That's how good this show was. It made my wife and I just stop binging on Umbrella Academy so that we could go watch Doom Patrol. And guys, that's what I'm saying. It might be about time we suck it up and get the app. Once you pay for it, it's good for the year. $75 is a big, drop. I get it. I know. But I think they do have different tiers now that you can get a couple of months, and I think it might be free for the first few months as well, so you can get a taste of it. Now that the first season, of Young Justice is out, it makes our first half of the first season of Young Justice is out, makes it kind of worth it. We have at least 2 shows that you could kind of binge watch, plus all the comics there. A lot of them are old school comics that you may have never read before. So it makes it a little easier, you don't have to go searching, which I know sometimes is the fun about comic collecting for those issues, but it makes it a little easier just at least to understand these characters. And some of the best things is like the bios that they have on some of the characters that they're trying to highlight in certain episodes. Makes it really worth it. So check out the app, guys. Let me know, have you guys seen Doom Patrol episode 2? Let us know in the comments below, guys, if you know who the hell that Roach is, man. I want to know more about the freaking Roach. And no, it's not one of the roaches from Joe's Apartment or whatever that MTV movie is, okay? Somebody tried to make that joke with me already. I'm like, no. Fingers crossed, it's Mr. Mind. But anyway, guys, until next time, I'm C-Dubs. Guys, don't forget to like this video if you haven't already. Subscribe, guys, if you haven't already. And, guys, click that notification bell if you haven't already. And until next time, I'm C-Dubs, and I'll see you in the YOUniverse. Peace.